Have you ever noticed how easy it is to turn a simple sentence into a one-act play? Why do we do this? And someone asks, hey, want to grab lunch this weekend? And instead of saying, I can't, you go into this whole bit. Oh, I wish I could, but this weekend is crazy. My mom is coming into town and I promised her that I would help her pick out new curtains. And then there's this birthday party that my neighbor invited us to. Can't miss that because last year we did. And well, that got a little awkward. And then honestly, I was kind of hoping to finally clean out the garage. You know, it's embarrassing, like how long it's been since I've touched the garage. And by the time you pause to breathe, the other person has totally forgotten they've even asked, right? And you're standing there wondering, why didn't I just say no? Let's find out. I'm Chad Lawson, and let's calm it down in 3, 2, 1. It's called the Overexplainer's Dilemma. That almost automatic need to explain every little thing. Why you turn down an invitation. Why you switch careers. Why you're spending Saturday night watching a baking show instead of going out, which would be my preference. Even when no one asked, right? Even when no one really cares. And the funny part, you often notice halfway through. You're like 5 reasons deep when a little voice says, why am I doing this? Here's the thing. Most of us are not born narrating our lives like a legal deposition, right? We learn it, usually in small, quiet ways. A raised eyebrow when we said no, or a sigh when we made a choice that someone didn't quite get, or that look that left us wondering if we even had the right to choose for ourselves. So we adapt, right? We pad our choices in bubble wrap. We become experts at the disclaimer. We rehearse invisible speeches before even sending the simplest text. And over time, it stops being occasional. It becomes reflex. But why do we do it? Why? I mean, at the heart of like over-explaining, there's this one very small human hope. If they understand me, they won't judge me. Sounds reasonable enough, but over time, it can actually become this prison, right? I mean, a life where you feel like you have to earn the right just to be yourself, where every no needs a footnote, where every preference feels like it needs a PowerPoint presentation. You start believing your worth depends on other people's understanding, not on your own knowing and confidence of knowing. For many of us, that habit started early. Maybe you grew up where you felt love was conditional, right? If you pleased others, you were safe. If you disappointed, you weren't. And what better way to stay safe than to preempt disappointment altogether, right? To convince others, here's why my choice makes sense. I mean, at 5, explaining why you didn't want broccoli, that might have saved you a scolding. But at 35, explaining why you need a weekend to yourself leaves you exhausted. Same reflex, just different life. Here's the irony in all of it. Over-explaining rarely gives us the safety that we're hoping for. I mean, a lot of times it leaves us more anxious, right? Overextended, disconnected from ourselves. Every time you explain a no that didn't need explaining, you begin to chip away at your inner self, your inner trust. And you teach yourself that your choices must be earned, that your boundaries, they must be proven. It's a subtle form of self-betrayal, but it's all dressed up in really good manners, right? So let's be honest here. Some people will judge you no matter what you say. You could send a perfectly well-written 5-paragraph essay on why you're not attending the office holiday party, and someone will still think that you should have gone regardless. But the people who truly matter, they don't need your reasons. They can hear no, or, I'm not going to. and they can love you the same. When you live to explain, you give away your power. When you live to choose, you get it back. So what do we do when that reflex kicks in? Like when you feel that familiar urge just to explain. Well, first, notice. That's the whole beginning, right? Catch yourself mid-sentence if you need to just gently think, there it is again. No shame, no criticism, simply noticing. Because awareness, it loosens the grip. But then we have to create an image to hold on to. And here's one that I like to use. I want you to picture carrying a heavy backpack full of reasons. You've worn it for so long that you forget it's even there. And every no, it comes with 5 bricks of explanation. And every yes comes with 3 disclaimers and a postscript. And one day, you get tired. And you decide to take out 1 brick. And then another. And one day, you leave the whole backpack behind. You say no. And then you stand there. And the backpack is lighter. And so that is your invitation, right? So the small practice of just the eloquent no. Here, try it. No, thank you. Or, I can't this time. Or, that doesn't work for me. And then let the sentence land. No footnotes. And of course, the very first few times, it's going to be awkward. It's okay, right? It's like standing in a crowded room with an outfit that just doesn't feel like you, right? But you'll find that most people accept a simple sentence far more easily than what you think. But something I want you to remember. Are you listening? If you catch yourself over-explaining, don't scold yourself. Give yourself some grace. You have to remember this habit once protected you. It served you well when understanding felt like survival, right? You didn't have to fight it. You just had to meet it with compassion. So try thinking, thank you, old pattern. You've taught me once, but I don't need you now. And this is a far more powerful shift than just trying to stop, right? So with that in mind, I want you to ask a couple questions to yourself. What if my choices didn't need defending today? What if I trusted that people who truly know me will not require an essay? And then maybe, what would it feel like to let my no be enough? Small questions, big freedom, right? So as we close, I want to leave you with this reminder. You are allowed to make decisions that others don't understand. You are allowed to say no without an alibi, to say yes without an asterisk attached. You're allowed to like what you like, to need what you need, to rest when you must. Your life is not a courtroom. You are not on trial. You don't need to win anyone's approval to just be. Sometimes, most of the time, your choice is enough because you are enough. And you are enough. So thank you. Thank you for being enough. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind. Maybe practice that eloquent no. And trust that the world will keep spinning just fine, even without your footnotes. It's true. Join me again next time as we calm it down. To find more episodes of Calm It Down, see where I may be appearing in your area, or just simply want to know where to send me some chocolate chip cookies, visit calmitdownpodcast.com. This podcast was written and produced by yours truly, Chad Lawson, composer, pianist, and nationally recognized Sweet Tooth. The views, expressions, and techniques in this episode are of my personal opinion and not intended, nor should they, serve as a substitute for medical advice or diagnosis rendered to you by your individual doctor or other healthcare provider. Only a licensed physician should evaluate your situation, provide a diagnosis, or render other medical advice to you. And you should only act upon the advice of this physician. Now, I'm an extreme empath by nature, but my profession is that of a composer and pianist, not a licensed therapist or physician. I hear from thousands of listeners how my music has helped them through various stages of emotional needs, and I simply want to offer this in future podcast episodes to aid those needs. So to find a list of licensed professionals in your area, please visit calmitdownpodcast.com. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review, or better yet, share it with a friend. While it takes less than 60 seconds to do, its impact will last for years to come, as every little bit helps in growing the awareness and the importance of mental and emotional health. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind and join me again as we calm it down.